Good evening. Hello. Happy Tuesday. I'm excited to be here. This is a little different. This is a little new. And I have created this space, this time together, this live, to talk about something I've been working on for, I want to say, for a good year. And this thing, this creative thing, has been with me for a long, long time. I want to say decades. So I want to share that with you. I know it sounds mysterious. And you are looking at a title, and I have another monitor here. So if you see me switching, I have another monitor. Title is Quiet Steps in the Making. So a journey about my book writing, I guess, entry point into authorship. This whole thing is very new for me, and I want to invite you in. So, hello, everyone. Thank you for being here with me this evening. Happy Tuesday. I want to start off by saying that this space is intentionally quiet. I hope you can hear me because I tested the mic beforehand. Again, this is not a launch. It's not supposed to be polished. It's not a performance. It's simply place to pause and reflect together. So Tuesday evenings are now going to be dedicated space for me to share what it looks like to write a book while living a full life and working a 9 to 5, running a business, being multi passionate, and still feeling the call to create something meaningful without rushing the process. So, I am currently in the editing phase of a book I've been writing. And instead of waiting until everything is perfect or finished and we're ready to go, I wanted to open up this space to talk about the becoming part of the journey. So, tonight isn't about the title or the details, it's about the why. So, why I write a book at this stage of life, although it's never too late for anyone. Why create when life already feels full and amazing? Why listen to a quiet pull instead of ignoring it? I think that's the biggest piece, right? And for me, this book began as a series of small moments building, building. Um, and really the thoughts I kept returning to, lessons that kept repeating themselves quietly until I realized that they wanted to be written down, that it needs to be on paper, and enough is enough. I've always felt most of my life that I have books inside of me and I need to share. Although I'm super introverted, I'm extroverted when it comes to my close friends and family, but super introverted when it comes to just general and public. And so this, along with my podcast and everything else I've been doing on lives, is super unnatural for me. It may seem like it's natural, but it's super awkward and it's a huge stretch. And I am going through it just to share the journey with you. So I learned that most of my meaningful changes in life didn't come from dramatic decisions. They came from small, consistent steps I almost talked about myself during these podcast episodes. But that's really what this space is about, sharing the writing process honestly, talking about doubt, momentum, clarity, and pauses. And I had tons of pauses because a lot of it was so emotional for me. It's not it's not going to put you to sleep. You're not it's a really good, I think it's a really good a teaching memoir, a reflective nonfiction book, and there's some lessons there, and I want to share those lessons. I've learned them, and hopefully that's something that we could kind of talk through here and really navigating creativity without burning out. So, what was that process like for me? Every day, feeling that pull to write, although I have other commitments and other obligations and responsibilities. So, and truly honoring the fact that growth doesn't have to be loud for it to be a real thing. And if you're here tonight, you might be someone who's building something quietly or standing at the edge of a new chapter, perhaps yourself, or reminding yourself that it's not too late to begin again, even if the path feels slow or unclear. So, this space is for you too. Each Tuesday, I'll be sharing reflections from this season of writing and life. Some weeks will be lighter, some weeks will be deeper, but all of it will be real. And I feel like if I could take you through it a chapter at a time, and you get a kind of a glimpse of what I wrote, a kind of behind the scenes peek. I'm excited about it. Um, Based on some early readers. It's really good. So we'll see. We'll see. It might just suck. I hope it doesn't, because the intent is to be able to share it and help others in some way or another, even if it's like for a second. So before we continue, I love to invite you to take a breath and check in with yourself. What's one quiet idea or nudge you've been carrying lately that you haven't given yourself permission to explore yet? So think on that. And also, you don't need permission to explore yourself, right? You don't need like that, yes, go ahead. By all means, begin. That's you. Okay, you control that. So if there's something that you're wishing to explore, that you're feeling pulled towards, listen to that. That's your higher self talking to you and saying, hello, when are we going to get going? Make some time, even if it's like 5, 10 minutes. Um, I really started off that short. I think 5, 10 minutes. I started with an outline. And once I got my outline, well, first I started with like drawing everything on a paper, all these ideas, all these themes and situations that happen. Once I got everything on paper, old school, then I started putting it into an outline. Once I got into an outline, I had to organize things. And so that's what helped, I think, be able to structure a format, a book that could talk about these situations and events and the lessons learned from them. And hopefully it'll make a lot of sense once it comes out. So, again, you don't need to answer anything out loud here. This is just me rambling on in hopefully in a very positive way. I just want you to kind of notice it if there's a calling, if there's a nudge, if there's a pull, and please listen to it. So as we move through this season together, I'll be sharing more inside of course, the Max Verse Circle. That's on Facebook. That's our Facebook group. So feel free to check it out. It is private, but you could join for free. Um, we'll be happy to have you there. Or actually check out maxreverse.com, where I'll be sharing more about this journey. So you'll stay on top of everything. So these conversations will continue. We'll do this every Tuesday. You don't have to watch me live. If you want to catch the recording of this, that's fine too. But I wanted to share that this is a space where, we'll honor the quiet steps together, right? And we'll take a few minutes to reflect on those quiet steps. So my quiet step was realizing that I have not just a book, books within that, several books in me, and I needed to, for some time, just write them down. And I've always been the journaling type of person, because if I didn't journal stuff, guys, I would explode. It's really that's if I didn't journal stuff, oh my gosh, I don't think I would be sleeping at night, because there's so much dangling in there, so much things that were unresolved, so many things that people don't know about. Even my closest folks don't know about it. So the journaling helps. And it doesn't take prompts. It could just journal about journaling. You could, man, I could journal about not knowing what to talk about or not knowing what to write about, and things just come flying out of my head. So, yeah, it's really that simple. Journal prompts are amazing. I utilize them. I like those pre built out journals. You could go in old school, and just write out what are your thoughts, what things are flying into your head, what you're thinking about, your mood, your emotions, everything. So, how are you feeling? Now that this is out, now that I'm going to be talking about my book, I'm excited. I'm excited. I'm scared, but I'm mostly excited. So these things, see there. I think there's a comment. Give me a second, guys. Yeah, I still get scared. Make sure you guys could see me. Like, I still get scared. It doesn't matter. All of this is still very fresh and new, and I'm learning. I'm absorbing. This is going to be my first book out there, and there's a little pressure with that. There's a little bit of pressure, and I want to do a good job. I want to still be a good student of the craft. I want to continue evolving, getting better with my writing, hopefully. And I am open to feedback. I want the feedback. I'm not scared of reviews. And so I feel like, although this book is very raw, is very honest, and I'm divulging a lot, which is so awkward for me. Um, it's what it is, right? It's a teaching memoir. And so let's see. There's some lessons there. And I just want to know, you're part of this space, especially if you've seen me around, whether it's on any of the socials, on any of my podcast episodes. One, would you be out here kind of sharing it with the world? It's tough. Um, it's tough. Maybe you would. Maybe this is tough for me, but I'm here and I'm open. And so, just letting you know that I think the first part of my journey, the most difficult part was saying, okay, this is it. I'm going to write it down. I'm going to dedicate time and space for my writing every morning, every evening. I wrote a lot. I want to say I started in early July, maybe sooner. I remember outlining a stuff around spring. So, but for some reason, July keeps popping in my head. So maybe July got into the rhythm of constantly writing. Um, it was around the time where my grandson, yes, my grandson, I'm a grandma, was no longer with me for the summer, or he was heading out to go back home. And so I said, I gotta do this. I have to do this writing. And so here we are. And so currently in the editing phase. So I'm doing a lot of the heavy editing. However, it's going to have to be edited by a professional. And then we'll take it from there. I'll be sharing and I will be showing you guys, and I want you to be part of the process of helping me pick the best cover art, um, the best everything. I want you to be part of this process. So give me a second. I thought I saw another comment pop in. So you'll be part of that. You'll help me vote on what you think is the best look, feel, um, everything for the book. Spine, I don't know. But yes. And these conversations don't have to be long. Just wanted you here with me on a Tuesday evening when you're super busy and probably getting some dinner and probably trying to settle in with your family. So if you are watching this, even if it's not live, thank you, because I am, like I said, I'm excited about this. I'm scared of my mind, but it's going to go well because I'm going to think super positive, and we'll see how this journey goes. But there wasn't an additional note for myself that I wrote here. Really, before actually wrapping it up with you, there's one small thing. These Tuesday reflections are part of a new official episode segment with Leveling Up Talks, which is my podcast by Maxiverse, dedicated to the book series itself. So I'm going to have episodes in the podcast talking about the book series. They're going to be our Tuesday reflections. So I'm working on that as we speak. So as the writing and editing continues, these reflections will also live on the podcast and YouTube as part of the ongoing conversation. So just letting you know that these lives will be part of it, but also the episodes will be part of it. So if this space resonates with you and you want to be an early listener as these reflections are released, I invite you to subscribe to Leveling Up Talks by Max Rivers on YouTube. Subscribing helps the community grow and make sure that these conversations reach people who need them. So if you want to continue the conversation in a more intimate way, as I said before, you're always welcome inside the Maxiverse Circle or and at maxiverse.com. But check us out on Maxiverse Circle. It's an amazing community we have on Facebook. And so thank you again for being here and honoring these quiet but very intentional steps with me. And I am looking forward to sharing much more about this book. I can't share the exact title, but you're getting a little glimpse of it now. But once the editing piece is done and we've solidified what the title is going to be, I know what the title is, what I would like it to be, but let's see as we move along in the process because I like I like the feel of what it is now, and hopefully we could get it all the way to the finish line. And I thought that the writing process was hard. This part after writing, yeah, this part, it's been interesting. It's been eye awakening, and I'm just learning everything as I go. So that's it for now, guys. Thank you for sharing this space with me. And again, if you want to be part of these episodes that in the new series that I'm going to be doing on the podcast itself on YouTube, check us out. Leveling Up Talks by Maxiverse. Just look up Maxiverse on YouTube and you'll find me there. And of course, we have our Facebook group, Maxiverse Circle. Come join us. Happy to have you. And thank you for being there. I feel it. I see your comments. Thank you for being there. And that's all for now. Have a nice evening, guys. Until the next one. Take care.